Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Cop shot and injured near Central Police Station. A policeman is now nursing gunshot wounds after he was shot and injured in front of the Central Police Station in downtown Kingston early Tuesday morning. His identity has not been released. He was rushed to hospital. His condition is not known. The incident follows the death of two other lawmen in the last 2 weeks. On October 15, Constable Brian Martin was shot dead at a wake on Ricketts Avenue in Kingston 13. 4 other people were shot in the incident. A few days later, Corporal Oliver Mullins was gunned down in the line of duty on 3rd Street in Kingston Western Police Division. Clarendon couple murdered in front of home. A businessman and his spouse were gunned down at the entrance of their home in Tollgate, Clarendon on Tuesday evening. They have been identified as 61-year-old Evan Francis and 46-year-old Alisa Francis. Reports are that about 5:30 p.m., the couple arrived at their Duke Street Tollgate home in separate vehicles. Mr. Francis got out of his vehicle and proceeded to open the gate to the house when gunmen pounced and opened fire on the couple before fleeing. The police were alerted and upon their arrival on the scene, found Mr. Francis lying on his back in front of his Nissan Caravan motor vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds to the upper body and right wrist, while Miss Francis was seen slumped over the front seat of her Toyota Corolla Fielder with gunshot wounds to the head and upper body. They were pronounced dead at hospital. Unconfirmed reports are that the deceased are related to a taxi driver Kendrick Francis, who was shot and killed in Tollgate on Monday. Shooting of policeman at Old Harbour Home was self-inflicted, says Bailey. Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Fitz Bailey has reported that the shooting of a police sergeant at his home in Old Harbour St. Catherine yesterday morning was self-inflicted. There were reports that he was shot by his wife, who is a district constable, during a domestic dispute at their house. Speaking at the police Monday press conference yesterday afternoon, Bailey, who heads the crime and security portfolio, said the investigation so far indicates that the cop shot himself. There was no evidence to suggest that he was shot by his spouse, he said. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson added that the police injury is not life-threatening. It was been at one point when I last checked, which was maybe an hour and a half ago. He was initially being prepped for surgery, but since then there doesn't seem to have hit any of the real vital organs, so the bullet went through, so he may have to do surgery at this time, so we are monitoring what is happening with him. Bailey said the Independent Commission of Investigations is involved in the probe into the incident. Westmoreland tattoo artist charged with rape of 14-year-old girl. A 47-year-old tattoo artist of Burnt Savannah in former Westmoreland has been charged with rape after he allegedly sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl. Charges Corinne Johnson, otherwise called Gaza Inc. Reports are that on September 21, the 14-year-old girl went to Johnson to get a tattoo on her leg. On completion of the service, it is alleged that Johnson held her down and forcefully raped her. A report was made to the police and an investigation was launched. Johnson was subsequently arrested and charged following an interview. His court date is being finalized. Machete wielding brawl leaves one dead. A 21-year-old man is dead and another man hospitalized after a machete and knife wielding brawl in the Miami Bay section of St. Anne on Tuesday morning. The deceased has been identified as Miami Bay resident Romario Hay. Alwyn Lawrence, of a no-fixed address, is in the St. Anne's Bay Hospital in serious but stable condition. Reports from the police are that he, based on recommendations made by Lawrence, bought a car in Mandeville. On Tuesday, he approached Lawrence to discuss mechanical problems the car had developed. A fight began between the two men, and he allegedly used a machete to inflict wounds to Lawrence's head. Lawrence then allegedly used a knife to stab Hay in the upper left side of his chest and shoulder. Both were taken to the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, where he died while receiving medical treatment. Jacquier remanded in Netherlands. Dancehall star Jacquier will continue serving his 6-year sentence for attempted manslaughter in the Netherlands, a judge ruled yesterday. The singer appeared in court for a pro forma hearing. He is scheduled to return to court on January 24, 2023. Today, there is a pro forma. There is no news at this point. The suspect stays in detention, reported press officer of the Public Prosecution Office to the Court of Appeals in the Netherlands told reporters on Tuesday. According to Dutch law, inmates have to attempt a pro forma hearing while awaiting a court date for the actual trial. Therefore, a judge has to decide about the incarceration, whether to keep a suspect incarcerated or not, every 90 days. In March 2022, Jacure, 43, was acquitted of an attempted murder charge but convicted of the lesser offense of attempted manslaughter. The charge stems from a stabbing incident. Jacure reportedly stabbed a promoter over unpaid money in October 2021. Following the sentence, those prosecutors appealed to the court against the acquittal of the attempted murder charge. There is still no hearing date scheduled yet for a new trial, so Jacure could find himself with a longer prison sentence if prosecutors have their way. In the meantime, he is sitting in limbo. Jacure is no stranger to the criminal justice system, as he has had several brushes with the law. He was convicted of rape and illegal possession of a firearm in April 1999 and served 8 years of a 15-year sentence in prison. He was released in July 2007. Jacure is known for the hit songs Longing For, Love Is in 2005, and True Reflections Prison Wall. His 2015 album The Cure, which includes the songs That Girl, Rasta, and Life We Live, earned him a Grammy Award nomination for Best Reggae Album that year. Desperate St. Catherine woman seeking new home. A desperate St. Catherine woman is seeking help from the authorities with a new home as she says her current accommodation is unsuitable. Donna Harris, who lives in Caymanas Bay, says her house is flooded during periods of heavy rainfall as a nearby river tends to overflow its bank. Harris, who suffers from poor circulation in her feet, says the bad weather associated with Tropical Storm Lisa has left her nervous about being displaced yet again. My house is right behind the Caymanas Bay River, and when there is a heavy rainfall, the river overflows and runs throughout my house, soaking the floorboard and furniture, she said amid tears. Why do I have to suffer so much in life, she lamented. Harris recounted that her house has been flooded on several occasions, each time losing several household items including furniture. There are many days when I just sit down and cry because I feel so helpless, she said. Harris said she has no one to help her, and the flooding problem has been plaguing her for the last 10 years. She explained that the broken-down house in which she lives does not belong to her. Some years ago, when she had nowhere to live, she saw the old house and she took the chance to live in it. Although the living condition is not comfortable, I try to cope, hoping that better will come. If I did not have poor circulation in my feet, I would be able to work to help myself, she added. Harris has leased a piece of land that she said is far from the river and is not prone to flooding. She said the problem is encountering problem with the money to buy the material to construct the house. She is thinking of building a concrete foundation and then put a board structure on it. I am pleading for help to build this house because I have no money or financial support to do so, she said. If anyone is willing to assist Donna Harris to live a better life, she can be contacted at 876-536-5688. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification